Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Empowering Young Innovators, introducing the Mott Million Dollar Challenge. I'm going to start off with a few notes, introduce our awesome guest speakers, and then pass the mic to our incredible panel for them to share more about the challenge, how to get involved, and resources to help spark your young people's creativity. Next slide, please. So first, a few housekeeping notes. This webinar is being live streamed and recorded, and all slides, resources, and materials will be shared with you after the webinar. And there will be plenty of time for questions, so either share them in the chat or the Q&A box at the top of your screen to submit your questions directly to our speakers, and make sure your chat box is set to everyone so that we can see and interact with you. Next slide. So we have a awesome panel of speakers. So we will have Channing McKay from the Mott Foundation, Suzanne Taylor from the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, or NIFTY. We have Scott Mann directly from Venture Lab, and we have Kristen Stayer from Mizzen Education. So now I am so happy to pass it off to Channing McKay, who is going to talk a little bit more about the challenge.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Channing McKay. I'm an Associate Program Officer at the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation on the education team. The Mott Foundation is committed to promoting a just, equitable, and sustainable society, and we strive to do that by supporting nonprofits dedicated to civil society, education, the environment, and our hometown of Flint, Michigan. Today, we're excited to officially launch the Mott Million Dollar Challenge. For the past 10 years, the Mott Foundation has championed opportunities for young people to grow, discover a sense of purpose, and see themselves as leaders in their schools and communities through youth entrepreneurship. This work led to the creation of the Mott Million Dollar Challenge, a pitch competition for kids and teens from all 50 states to share big, bold business ideas and social solutions. We are so excited to have funded a $1 million prize pool to be awarded to participating youth throughout the competition. This prize pool is a reflection of our belief that young people are the next generation of genius. Of course, we couldn't make this happen without our partners, including the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, Young Entrepreneur Institute, Venture Lab, Collaborative Communications, and the After School Alliance, with additional help from Mizzen Education and the statewide after-school networks. Now, I'll hand it off to the team to walk through how the competition works and how you can create the space to support young people in bringing their ideas to life. Suzanne.
Thank you so much, Channing. Hello, everyone. It's very exciting to be with all of you. If I could get the next slide, please. I am, as he said, Suzanne Taylor, Director of Events for the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, known as NIFTY, and we are absolutely thrilled to be able to work with this great group of partners to bring this amazing opportunity to so many kids and teens all over the U.S. If you are not familiar with NIFTY, it was established in 1987 by our founder, Steve Mariotti, who believed that every young person in the world should learn how to start a business. And for nearly 40 years, we have been doing just that, empowering partners, school districts around the world to integrate entrepreneurial education across curricula and to equip students with the skills, connections, credentials, and real-world experiences that they need to lead change and own their futures. Can I get the next slide, please? So as you already heard, the Mott Million Dollar Challenge is this national innovation competition for kids and teens supported by funding from the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. And because the deadline for submission is not until Friday, February 27th, there is plenty of time to get your students thinking and innovating and submitting their awesome ideas. Next, please. One of the first steps for a young inventor or innovator is to recognize an opportunity or a problem they want to tackle and to innovate and come up with their own solutions to the issues that they see. So that's one of the reasons we are excited to be part of this challenge. It's about celebrating the natural creativity, curiosity, and ideas of the kids and teens that you all work with every single day. Next slide, please. Across this competition, as Channing said, an unprecedented $1 million in prize funds will be awarded to young people. In fact, there will be more than 1,200 winners in the very first round of competition, with guaranteed winners from each of the 50 states. So there are lots of opportunities to win money here and to have great opportunities. Next slide, please. So everyone's wondering who can enter. For this challenge, students will compete in one of 3 different grade level groups. We have a K through 4, a 5 through 8, and a 9 through 12th grade. So it's K through 12, but in 3 different levels. They can compete on their own, or they can make teams of up to 3 kids working together. So long as they live and go to school or study at home or at an after-school program in the 50 United States and the District of Columbia, they can enter. Next slide, please. So it's easy to enter the challenge. As I said, students can compete individually or as a team of 2 or 3. And in fact, they can enter once on their own and once as part of a team if they really want to. The first task is to identify a problem that needs to be solved, and then to brainstorm and come up with an idea to solve that problem. Once they have the idea, they work together to write a short pitch and create a video of themselves presenting their idea as clearly, creatively, and persuasively as they can. Once they have the recorded video, then they can go online and complete an online submission form, upload their video or a link to that video on YouTube, and they'll need a parent or guardian to consent to their participation. Since the submission deadline is in February and the first round of winners won't be announced till soon after that, we will be trying to get that information to you in mid-March, but a special group of finalists will then find out later that they are invited to travel to Flint, Michigan for a final celebration in June, where they will be able to pitch live and have chances to win even more prizes. Next slide, please. So the competition here is all about the going bold and winning big. Kids and teens are going to be able to win at several different levels, as I said, with that final event in Flint at the end. Next slide. And there's one more important thing. All the submissions are going to fall into one of 2 challenge categories. So the first is the business challenge, which is an idea for either a new product or a better way to solve an everyday problem, or something that is a new addition or twist on something that already exists. The other category is a social challenge. These are ideas that are more designed to help solve a social or community issue that they have identified. And the pitch videos for both should clearly explain the business or problem as they see it, the social problem or the business, why it matters to them and to their community, and then how their idea would help solve or fix or improve that problem. And it seems obvious to say it, but obviously we don't want students using ideas that already belong to someone else. We really want their creativity and innovation to shine. Next slide, please. So we're getting in the weeds here, but just to let you know, to collect submissions, we will be using the reviewer platform, which some of you have used before, either for YEI competitions or for Nifty's own pitch competitions, and perhaps others. Students, parents or guardians, and educators are all able to submit directly on that platform. The process is simple, especially for educators. First, you click the Submit Your Pitch button on the mottmillion.org website to access the homepage of the submission portal. Once there, each team submission has to create an account in Reviewer with just a name and their email address, so that they can log back in at any time to update or add to their submission. If there's more than one student on a team, we will ask one to pick to be the primary submitter so that we don't have duplicate submissions. When you first log in, you'll be asked if you're a student, parent, or educator, and then you simply follow directions to enter contact information. The links to the consent forms will be there, all of that. At the bottom of the page will be a place to upload the video submission or a URL to a publicly available YouTube link. And if you're only submitting one, you just click next to continue and input all the information there. If you are an educator submitting for multiple teams, then you look for the link to a spreadsheet right on that first page that you can download. And you complete that spreadsheet with links to the videos created by your class, and then upload the spreadsheet in place of the video or URL. It's that simple. Next slide, please. So that is basically all you need to know about how to submit. but I know that you want to know how to prep your students. So I'm thrilled to let you know that next up will be Scott Mann, the Director of Education and Training from Venture Lab. And again, I want to just recognize the really awesome work that Venture Lab, a Young Entrepreneur Institute, the Collaborative Communications Group, and of course, After School Alliance and Mizzen and our friends at the state networks have been doing to bring this all together and help us make this challenge the best opportunity for your students to stretch their innovation muscles. So next slide. And thank you again. If there are questions for me later, I'm happy to answer them. But first, let's hear from Scott, who I hope will answer most of them right now. Scott, on to you.
Challenge accepted, Suzanne. Thank you for that. Appreciate all the details. And yet, seconding what Suzanne said, as you have questions that occur to you, please drop them in the chat. We will be addressing those either during our presentation or at the end. And also extending a special thanks to all of you that are on this webinar right now or watching afterwards. That is the work that you all do with the youth around the nation in your learning environments that create those safe spaces and create opportunity for your students to learn and grow and be the amazing human beings they are. And that's part of our contribution here at Venture Lab. Our mission is to create the next generation of diverse innovators by making entrepreneurship education accessible to kids worldwide. We do that through a variety of programmings and capacity building, professional development. We're also the proud technical assistants to this youth entrepreneurship work around the 50 states. And thank you to, again, for the Mott Foundation for creating this opportunity to raise this flag really high with the Mott Million Dollar pitch competition. Next slide, please. So I want to take a minute, and we've been using this word innovation and entrepreneurship, and I want to zoom out the 30,000-foot view and present these entrepreneurial mindsets and skills. All of the collaborating organizations, YEI, NIFTY, and Venture Lab, we present some variation of this vocabulary where we have here an example in the chat, and I encourage you to bring these mindsets and skills, this vocabulary, back to your students. Because this is an opportunity to go ahead and validate the amazing thinking and skills that they're already doing. You already have these present in your program. And this pitch competition is just another opportunity to create an experience for them to practice and grow. So please, again, take this out of the chat. Take these words. They really are gifts. They may be the first time that your students hear, hey, you know what? The way that you helped your friend, that was you using empathy. You're an empathetic person. The way that you created that opportunity for your other friend to participate, that was creative. You're really creative. And that's what we do. That's our business, right? To build these identities and positive characteristics in our youth. And entrepreneurial learning and innovation is one of the tools that you have to do that. Next slide, please. And before I go to the website to show you some of the more of the 3-inch view of what the resources you have available to you to bring this type of opportunity to your students, I wanted to share a quote from someone that's done a lot of thinking on this topic, Tina Seelig of Stanford University. And this really helps me think about a lot of times entrepreneurship is a scary word. It's a hard to spell word, but it really is rooted in imagination. And we know that that's where our kids shine, especially the young ones, and they do that naturally. The old ones, we want to sometimes get them back into that space. And innovation, entrepreneurship is an opportunity for them to play meaningfully, to engage their creative self, knowing that it's a skill they can practice and improve. And you all in the OST space are in the perfect position to help them do that. Next slide, please. All right, so here is where I'm going to share my screen and take you to, if you're not already a multitasker like me and haven't been to the website yet, please in the chat there, it is mottmillion.org. And our handy dandy resource tab is where you will find some developing resources, and also very practical. We know that time is the #1 resource that is constrained in your programming. So we're offering up the initial opportunities, these resources, and thinking about time. #1, you don't need a background in entrepreneurship to have your students record a 30 to 90-second pitch video. In fact, to just record, you don't even have to have special programming. A lot of you are already doing it. Maybe it's in a STEM, maybe it's in robotics. If you're participating in service learning or civics, science fairs, and other programmings where students are making presentations, they're solving problems, creating value, looking for opportunities, have them hold up that camera 30 to 90 seconds and click on this submit over here. And they have that, boom, they have their entry. If you've never done entrepreneurship and you want to have a one-off activity, what can I do with my students? What does it look like? Well, we have listed here in our 15 to 30 minutes a classic improv game. There's different variations of this, but the one that we're pointing to here we call Wacky Inventions. And it's basically taking two objects. You can use these cards. You can use physical objects in your learning space. You don't have to know how to teach this activity because we have videos for our younger kids, an instructional video for the older kids. If you want to have tangible cards, you can print those out, sort them, have a whole deck, and students can come up with a pitch. For example, and I'm going to take this from friends in an after-school program here in Austin, Texas. They were given a box of Kleenexes and a roll of tape. And working through after the video, collaborating with their group, they took the tape, stuck it on the box, and slammed it against the wall. They said, in class, we have a lot of germs, and I'm really worried about my friends because they're always out sick. But now we've eliminated that. And all my friends are healthy because we created the Health in a Box 5000. The Health in the Box 5000 can stick to any surface, can be transported anywhere, and it will have these handy dandy hypoallergenic Kleenexes that will not only keep everyone in class, but also help your programming continue its funding, making a pitch there to you. So it can be that simple, taking those two objects. I think I created a social business, social challenge entry there. If you're looking for something that might be longer than a single session, our friends at Young Entrepreneur Institute have the Pitch Toolkit. It is a distilled series of activities. They recommend 2 to 5 sessions, so we have 30 to 120 minutes, and it will take them through the problem identification process, creating a solution, and structuring their pitch. It is in an amazing PDF format, and when you click on this, it will actually take you to a registration page, I believe, and you're able to then get that easy to download PDF, use that with your students, very plug and play, very easy to use. Highly recommend if you're in that multiple session category. And then from there, I've got lots of time, Scott. I really want to dive deep into this, and I haven't yet. What can I do? Well, up next, we have Kristen. She is from Mizzen Education, and she's going to be taking you through to mizzen.org. Last piece here is, again, going back to that constraint of time. There is a resource that we have created for a session outline. This is something as a frontline educator, or if you're in a site and administration role, you can take this page and it will give you a session outline, a blueprint for what do I do? What can it look like? So we have some very time allocations, step by step, introduce the challenge, do an activity, record and submit your videos. And with these resources, we know that you're going to be able to create this opportunity for students. They're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So passing it back over with just a few quick image shares here. What does it look like? I kind of showed you my quick example, but we see students, and these are from out of school time and summer learning organizations, creating basic prototypes. Next slide. It does not have to be a viable business, y'all. We want participation from thousands of students. I want you to imagine those students in your program looking around. How can you have 5 entries? How can you have a student come up with their own idea and maybe then team up with a pair up to 3 of others to record a 30 to 90 second pitch video? Next slide, please. They're going to have a lot of fun. It's always a highlight to see this collaboration and communication. Talk about student voice. When you look out at that room and say, hey, what's important to you? What do you want to work on? I really want to see what you can do and create with these objects. What's meaningful. It is an amazing experience to behold if you haven't done it already. We look forward to having your students participate in the Mott Million Dollar Pitch Competition. Last slide here. This is Anjana. Anjana is a youth from Missouri. She participated in one 15-minute session several years ago through her after-school program. Actually, it was with YEI's Pitch Toolkit. And fast forward to today, she attributes that 15 minutes to changing the trajectory of her life and her decisions to attend college, her career path. So I know you have Anjanas in your program. Please make space and provide this opportunity for those students around you. Know that you have a collective of people that are here to support you. mottmillion.org is your website. It will have those ever-growing resources. And yeah, we look forward to seeing your youth's bold and courageous ideas on display. Kristen, pass it over to you, friend.
Thanks so much, Scott. Well, like Scott said, I'm here to share about Mizzen Education, and Mizzen is a completely free digital platform providing high quality learning resources and planning tools, really designed with the youth development and education field. And this resource truly is available to anyone who is working with and empowering youth. Next slide. With our scalable ed tech solutions and the growing technologies that we have available, we are continuing to increase not only our content library, but the collaboration, planning, tools that are available to teams working with youth, as well as content building tools that align with ever-evolving needs. And Scott mentioned it earlier, right? Time is a precious gift, and we know that as adults who are empowering young people to think creatively about their innovations, it is limited. And so Mizzen is here to support that planning and that prep time for everyone to be able to go in, search the library, and find what they're looking for. Next slide. So whether you are an after-school leader, a camp counselor, maybe a makerspace teacher, or an adult at home caring for young kids, you can find those single-day activities or, again, plan for a deeper dive into innovation and entrepreneurship. And so our goal is to really provide equitable access to these streamlined teaching and learning resources. As you look in there and you're searching for what you need to inspire young people in this pitch competition. Next slide. So when you're in the platform, these next couple of slides are going to show you a little bit of a preview of what that looks like. We partner with a lot of different collaborators who are trusted organizations and brands within the field. And these national leaders have worked to design creative and engaging teaching and learning resources. Next slide. So you'll find engaging and hands-on activities from a diverse set of partners. And if you were to go in there, you can go in and see a little bit more. And actually, if you want to hit the slide before this, back to that one more time, perfect. You'll see an example here of clicking into Venture Lab. And so when you land on one of our partners' pages, you'll see the activities available there. When you click on it, you'll see the activity with the steps, the attachment, prep steps, facilitation script, everything that you'll need as an educator and a facilitator in this space. You can additionally print resources and pass that out to your fellow colleagues. And now you can go to the next slide. In addition, you can look at the entire library and start to type entrepreneurship, and you'll find activities pop up there. You'll find partners who write and focus in content around that learning topic as well. And then once you're into the entire kind of catalog, you can start to filter even more. And so the resources for entrepreneurship and innovation are located in this future-ready learning and earning category on the Mizzen platform. You'll see here on the slide that you can filter by grades, duration, by partner, by type of activity that you are looking for. And then finally, if you'll click to the next slide, we'll just take a look back at Venture Lab. And again, when Scott's talking about that deeper dive and that exploration and Mizzen has to offer, inside the collections, you'll find modules, and modules are those scaffolded activities that really form a unit together. And so again, if you're in a program setting and you're thinking about offering this leading up to the pitch challenge to get your young folks inspired and excited, you can search and filter what you're looking for to find those activities that build upon one another, and you complete that as you go. And then you can also schedule and share this with your team. And on the last slide, you will see a QR code, or you can visit mizzen.org to create your free account or log in. Again, there is truly no cost associated. It will just take you 20 seconds to create your free account with your name, email, and the state you're located in. And once you verify your email, you will have full access to the library. And we look forward to helping you connect with the variety of resources to support that development of entrepreneurship mindset with young people. And Scott, I'll hand it back over to you.
Thank you, Kristen. And thanks everybody for those of you who have contributed to some questions. We have the chat here. We have our collected team. We do our very best to address any of those questions that you may have in this specific moment. Always with the caveat, if we don't know the answer, we will follow up visiting mottmillion.org. That is our ever-growing and evolving source of truth. So some of the questions that have come across are, does every pitch require an MVP? So MVP is a minimal viable product. And the answer is no. You saw maybe if you were on for some of those pictures, a drawing of the idea. It can be a prototype of the storyboard. It can be an app wireframe, which is just a fancy way of saying you draw computer screens or phone screens and show what it might be like to click through an app solution. So no, you do not have to have anything. However, it is helpful in a pitch to have something visible. So when you're talking about your solution and presenting it, you can show what it looks like, even if it's not an actual working prototype. Okay, glad to hear, Jessica, that there's some excitement. Have a question here. Can students submit a pitch in another language? As a bilingual educator, I am a strong believer in multicultural, multi-language, engaging students in those strengths that they bring from their culture through their language. However, with this pitch challenge, and unless I can have friends unmute, we're limited by the constraints of our judges. The judges we have most likely will be monolingual, for as much as we would like to open up this opportunity to all languages. As of now, only entries in English will be accepted. However, I would encourage you to still bring that opportunity to your students, still have them record those pitch videos, still celebrate them as the amazing individuals they are.
Yeah, I want to echo that, Scott. I think definitely we want as many students to do these things and think about them as possible. And if it's possible to have your students begin their process in their native tongue and then possibly have help with some translation and see if they can record their video in English or maybe a combination of the two languages, that could be considered. So long as we can make sure our judges can watch it, they can submit it.
Thank you, Suzanne. Next question we had for clarification, military after-school programs that are located overseas outside the 50 states. Not eligible, unfortunately, unless those students that are participating live in the 50 states or Washington, D.C. Next question we have up is, what's the role adults can play without taking over students' idea? So as a parent and a classroom and OST educator, it's something I think about a lot, even just with my own interactions in the classroom. What is the appropriate level of engagement? A couple of things to answer this question, because it's not a yes or no question. This zone of proximal development is a term in education where you give students just the amount of support they need to grow. Not putting something in front of them that's impossible, but also not giving them something that's too easy. So if you're working in that kindergarten through fourth grade and you're working with kindergartners, because we would love to have as many young innovators and entrepreneurs participate as possible, it is appropriate to help them think through their idea. There is a gray area that you enter into when you write their pitch for them and say, read this. So we put this, as it is not a yes or no question, firmly into your professional code of ethics. We want this to be an opportunity for your students to grow and for their ideas to come out of them. And if you need to help provide some guidance and a framework, yes, please do that. But don't do the work for them. Next question is, are they pitching just an idea? Do they need to talk about financials? Do they need to have done a market analysis, break-even points? And the short answer for the 30 to 90 second at round one, where we're looking for youth around the nation to just share their ideas with us, no, that is not an expectation. The rubric as well is presented within the FAQ, and we'll make sure that that is highlighted and easily findable on our website. Is within the categories, there is not a break even or a cost benefit analysis or a SWOT analysis necessary. In the initial 30 to 90-second video, we want to see on display the students themselves and hear them talk about their idea, why it's important to them, and why it's going to be helpful for others to solve a problem, fill a need, provide a value for someone. As we move into the later rounds, the website will be updated. They're age appropriate. So for the older grades, there might be some requests for them to present information around a projection or estimates in the financial areas. But again, for this initial round, we want to see your students and their amazing thoughts. Are kids allowed to submit multiple entries? Can a student submit an entry under the business challenge and then another one under the social challenge category? So as of now, and I'm going to refer you to the FAQ page for very specific language, a student may, as an individual, may enter one time. That same student, Suzanne, jump in if I'm out of turn here. A student may also be part of a group of up to 3 on a different idea.
That's correct.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they can't come up with millions of them, but they have to pick their favorites to submit.
Yes. Yes, we know that especially in the initial rounds of brainstorming, that quantity is everything, all the ideas, and then they can pick one that they feel they want to they really care about and want to pitch, or that's the most fun that they just want to share. The next question says, and I love this is student source, so shout out to students out there. They want to know, will they still own their idea after submission and if they are chosen as winners? I'm going to drop in the chat here a link to the United States Patent Office. This is a great source of information that is kid-friendly, and then you can click through to the adult side of things. So the short answer is, I'm always coming up with short answers. We are not the experts in this area. Again, we are opening up a space and an opportunity for students to share their ideas. We are not claiming ownership. There are steps that we have pointing to this website, and we will update the mottmillion.org website with other sources of information that students can take steps to establish intellectual property and follow those things to protect their idea. I would, however, again, encourage you to share and enter into the spirit of fun of this activity. Does every submission require a prototype? I talked a little bit about that. Always helpful in a pitch. A pitch is more persuasive if the person hearing it can see a little bit. Descriptive language about what it is helpful, why it's important is helpful. Being able to see it is also really helpful for the judge to connect with that idea. Later on, if that student of the initial thousands of entries, over 1,000, we will have over 1,000 winners. And those winners, as they are given an opportunity to progress into the final rounds, there will be support provided where they can think about further developing a prototype. Do the kids have to establish a price and say how much they are asking for? Great question. There are different type of pitches. There's a sales pitch, an investor pitch. So what does that call to action look like at the end? This is not an investor pitch. This competition is not an incubator. The prize money that the Mott Foundation is putting up will be provided to students, and it is an investment in them and not necessarily in their business. So if they want to frame it as an investor pitch, absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing different about it, or it can be just a sales pitch, and this is the price of it, or what the cost might be to create an event that has a certain outcome if it's in the social category. Judges rubric available. Yes, there is a judges rubric available. I don't know, team, if we have a PDF of that, but it is stated on the website in the FAQ. We'll make sure that we make that available, and then it's very clear on the website what those categories and how the judging will occur. Suzanne?
I believe there's a PDF that was undergoing a quick brand revisit, and that should be uploaded quite soon. The website resources will increase, and there will continue to be more resources available, as well as more details in the coming days. So yeah, please feel free to pop back and visit whenever you can.
Thank you for that. All right. Are summer program students eligible to complete this? Summer learning. It is an invaluable opportunity to engage our students proactively. So much learning happens in the summer, as our friends at NSLA will tell us that summer starts in November. However, the deadline for this competition is the end of February. It is February 27th. So unfortunately, that actual time of the summer will be afterwards. Can students participate if they're affiliated to any group or org as an individual student? Yes. The short answer, not knowing exactly the context of that question, but we want any and all students to apply. We know that there are amazing organizations out there that are doing this type of work already. If you're in Lego First, if you're in Girl Scouts, again, I talked about Science Fair earlier. We want all of the people. You do not have to use the resources that we're holding up and providing. We want you to find that on-ramp and join us in this opportunity. Right. Can students who are already part of a district leadership team submit a vision for a systemic change? Love this question. Systemic problems are those wicked problems, and we want students to think big if that's where their brains are at. So yes, if it does address a problem or identifies a need, and they can clearly explain the value they're creating and what they're presenting as a solution, 100% yes. Can a single participant allowed to submit multiple entries? And we touched on that one. Yes, one individually, and then one with a team or group of up to 3 must be a different idea, a different entry. Even with great resources, are there availability to someone if you have questions that is not found in the resources? Yes, that is part of what the fun of this is for me personally as an educator, working with Nifty and the Young Entrepreneur Institute and Mizzen is we are technical assistants, and we love to connect and to help people with this work. So that contact information will be shared. All of our websites independently also have contact forms. You're more than welcome to roll through there, check out what that offerings are, and reach out. We'd love to connect with you. Can students refresh an old idea they came up with? Yes. If it's their idea, yes. If it just the window to enter is now until the end of February. The idea can come from previous pitch competitions that they presented or the past. One of the slides mentioned educator submission. Is this for educators submitting on behalf of younger students? Does this mean, so it can be. The educator submission is a solution that experienced competition facilitators, Nifty and Young Entrepreneur Institute. A best practice is to have a bulk upload submission for an educator that has, I've got 20 kids participating. I've got 50 entries. You can use that bulk submission that will facilitate that process so you do not have to create an individual count for each student. Does this mean that older students are able to submit on their own and nothing is needed from the educator? That is correct. They will need to know the school, the name of their educator. They'll have that information. But yes, older students can definitely provide that and take that step themselves. Do the time limits increase as students advance? Invention convention, their videos are up to 5 minutes. We'll need to have them significantly reduce the pitch for this particular competition. Invention convention fan here. Thank you for that question. Definitely want all of your students and previous participants to to join us. And yeah, that is an interesting opportunity and constraint to have them take a 5-minute developed pitched and bring it down to 30 to 90 minutes. Seconds, excuse me. So for this first round, yes, we would like a condensed version. However, if they do move on to the final rounds, there will be longer pitches. There will be an opportunity then to take that pitch that they may have already refined and worked on into the later rounds. I represent a school district. Can we submit 3 applications, one for each grade span? Also, answering that one, you can go into each of those grade spans or grade bands and have the students come up with those ideas. And so individual students can enter as submissions, or teams again of 2 or up to 3 can enter those submissions. So I would say across all 3 of those, you might have 5 or you might have 50 submissions. So looking for all of those opportunities. Also, is there an estimated award, i.e. how much are the awards? Do we submit a budget and that is what gets funded? I'll make a statement and then pass it over to Suzanne to talk about amounts. Again, this is not an incubator. Propose your idea and we're going to invest in it, and you have to make a specific ask for, I need $50,000 to start my Kleenex company. No, the money is, the awards levels are already set. And so as students win at different rounds, they will receive a set amount of money that's not directly connected to any sort of ask they make in their pitch. Suzanne?
That is correct. Yeah, we are still refining just a smidge because this $1 million is so unprecedented. We're making sure we're splitting it the best way. But at that $1,200 level, the 1,200 winner level, so that very first round of competition will be, we're trying to have at least a couple, if not more than a few winners in each category from each state. So we're really looking to spread the wealth as far as states. I know there was a question about that as well. Those prizes are going to be a little over $200 is the current guess per team that wins at that level. And then there will be increasing prizes as different finalists are selected to sort of move on through the competition. So, but that first amount is going to be somewhere around 200, 240, I think, is the current number on the board.
Thank you, Suzanne. Next question is, does the business need to have a social impact or benefit a greater cause or good? There are 2 categories in the competition, and you can find specific wording and descriptions on the mottmillion.org website, mottmillion.com, that will describe what those are. So no, it does not have to have that. There is a category for that if that is part of how the student wants to present and pitch their idea. Do I have to be a teacher, or is being a camp counselor okay? I like to talk about the capital E educator. If you're an adult that is making a positive influence, an impact on a youth, yes, you are that person that can help them. You do not have to be affiliated or associated with, you can be a parent. My kids they're not gonna win, but they're gonna enter. Does the prize money, if they win, go to the student or their school or class? I'm going to pass it to Suzanne for an official statement on this one.
Yes, the intention here from the Mott Foundation was to make sure that the students are the ones receiving the funding. And so the idea is that students will be receiving this money themselves. And at some of the higher levels, there are going to be some restrictions as to make sure that the students who are receiving really unusual sums of money will be able to deposit that into accounts that will then serve them as they grow and serve their education. And some of that language is in legal, and we will share it as soon as we've got it.
Next question, as we are mindful of time. Did you say the videos submitted will be on YouTube for public view, or will they just be viewed by judges? It does have to be a clickable link. I do believe there's an upload the video directly to the platform, which would obviously be housed on this platform that's internal and not public. And on YouTube, you can upload and click unlisted. So no one can find that unless they're given the link. And the link will not be shared by anyone on this side of the competition. My students worry that he is too far along in his idea. He's funded his alpha and beta versions. Let's just stop there and do a little clap. Nice work. Um, through community contributions and prize money got from robotics comps as the national champion, can he still submit his project? Yes. Love to have that. I know we talked about initial on-ramps to idea, bringing kind of fun and imagination to students who haven't entered this space of innovation. On the other side of that spectrum, if you have students that have this far along in their idea, it's still an amazing opportunity, not only to share their idea with the world, but also to have a very realistic opportunity to win some sums of money that would be meaningful to the business and to this next iteration of the prototype. So would love to see that idea come across. Okay, technical one here. I always say,
I got it.
you
I
got
got
okay,
this
good.
one. I got this one. If there was a student who graduates in January, will they be eligible for the competition? We know that there are many students who will graduate between February and when the final event in Flint takes place, and we do a lot of that. So the understanding is that if you are in K through 12th grade at the time of your submission, you may submit.
Thank you, Suzanne. Is this being planned an annual competition? It is not. This is a kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity made possible by the Mott Foundation. And so that's why we are rallying around this as a major milestone and opportunity for you and the youth you serve to take part in something big. Will there be a specific number of winners per state? Suzanne, throwing the digital ball over to you.
We want at least 2 students from each category winning at the base level. If we can increase that number, we would like to. We have 6 different categories, so that's 12 students right there per state. If we can jump it to 24, that is our goal.
All
It
right.
sort of will depend on you all, because if we have enough submissions, then we can really do that.
Yes, I encourage you again. It's framed it earlier. Look around to those faces and see like where are my 5 entries minimum? Where are my 10? Again, I'm looking around my house and seeing my 2 boys and like, all right, we've got 3 entries right here. So I got you, Texas. Do the students get any kind of recognition for submission, even if not chosen? That is a great question. Suzanne?
I don't think we have an answer to that yet, but it's an excellent question and we will discuss it. Thank you.
Yes, appreciate that. Do students get it? That was the one I have. Do we get t-shirts like Scott's? Love it. So I think I may put it up on raffle. Do we like an autograph version? Um, currently I do. We have some shirts. Whoever this is, you DM me, you contact me. We'll talk shirts. And I saw some friends out on the island. Tanya,
There's
Tanya
2
wanted it.
others in the chat that want that shirt there, Scott, so you might have to make that public. The last question is about whether or not a 1st and 5th grader can work together, and we really do need them to stay in their categories. So K through 5, so long as they're within, or K through 4, and then 5 through 8, and then 9 through 12. It may be a little bit arbitrary, but it's the way it works out for us, and so we appreciate you gearing your students with their grade levels to work together.
All right. It appears that we have checked our questions, and team on the back end here, let me know if we missed any or if any, yes, any last questions. Thank you for your time and your presence today. Missouri representing. I would love to see as we come together collectively as a nation in support of the youth in our programming. We might have some state pride. We do have our friends and amazing partners at the 50 state after school networks. If you don't know your after school network provider, immediately get on the internet, type in the name of your state and after school network and reach out to them. They're an amazing resource for overall support of your program as you address the quality and sustainability of those offerings. So please reach out and rep your state. Bring your students' voice to life. Bring their ideas to life through this Mott $100 million Mott $1 million pitch competition. Thank you all. And with that, we'll give you back 10 minutes to your day. Hope it's a great one. Thanks, everybody.